1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, being a vegan isn't just about killing animals, but a core tenet of veganism that an average individual would believe or know is that they don't consume animal byproducts. Which is why my POI to Whip, though late in the round, is still quite important. Because Whip's response was, yeah, it's made from animals. Which, by the way, drops the frame and characterization of the previous teammates who were kind of saying that, oh no, it's plant-based, it's made of soy. That tension in their case proves how ambiguous lab-grown meat really is. And again, this debate isn't about whether this lab-grown meat is made by animals or not, but it's uniquely about what the vegan community should do in terms of being able to forward their interest and strategy. And quite consistently, coming from our side, we were casting a shadow of doubt in terms of what that really looks like, in terms of comparing a very nascent and speculative industry like lab-grown meat for all of the reasons that we already said, but also comparing it with a not perfect but quite profitable and emerging organic whole foods and plant-based business, of which if you continue to double down in terms of investment, you'll be able to capture the upside and maybe even deal with the assertions and harms that they claim to be part of that industry when stakeholders and the media are able to scrutinize you more when you're publicly listed, etc. A couple of reasons why their side can't take this debate. The first is they throw around a lot of matter, fact, and then jump to an impact, but I don't see how it necessarily bolsters the argument and is supportive of their particular case. So for instance, the discussion about the harms of the whole food industry to some extent is a wash because we symmetricized that and we said, yeah, the whole food industry, there could be certain harms in that too, such as potential usage of more water or environmental harms. But if we're able to have economies of scale, then we can potentially crack down and solve those particular things in a better way. The second is that I think side opposition forgets that it's an actor motion and they try and anchor this particular debate in terms of proving that this lab-grown meat is legit and something that vegans want. But our case isn't path or outcome dependent to that because we said, it's quite simple. If that is animal meat, then the vegans wouldn't want to eat that shit. And if it's not animal meat and plant-based, then it's an unclear consumer journey as opposed to saying, hey, this nut, this legume, it's organic, go eat it. Maybe at worst, there's a lot of water used to particularly make it. That is to say that the particular thing that they want to prove in terms of the impact isn't necessarily bolstered by the facts they particularly say. And the third and most important is asking the question, what do these vegans really particularly want? And that's something that Jaron talked about in his extension, which was largely ignored. And we think that we primarily have to look at it in terms of the lens of that. Because there's a huge chance that you alienate the supporters you already have when you cause a lot of tension and infighting in the attempt to be able to, let's say, get new followers, which I think was a valid and strong point on their side. At best, it was undermech and ultimately tokenistic, meaning if the best case they want to say is, yeah, we can get more people into the movement when we allow them to eat this stuff, that in itself becomes tokenistic, something that we said. And for all of these reasons, if you want these things to taste better, spread to more particular people, and ultimately examine the strategy for these people, we are very proud to stand on side affirmative. Thank you.